Good evening. My name is Mark Schuster, and I'm the director of tonight's program. First of all, I'd like to thank Wichita Parks and Recreation for sponsoring us tonight. I would like to also make an announcement. If you would like to move in closer, we could fill in this whole gap between the lights all the way back. That can be audience. So if you'd like to move forward and fill this gap, please feel free to do so. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Wichita Shakespeare Company. We are a 501c3 not-for-profit organization, and that means that none of us get paid. The actors, set designers, props, costumers, none of us get paid a cent to do what we do. So we survive solely on your contributions. So whatever you can afford to give, we would greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't had a chance to visit yet, our donation box is over at the welcome table. We also have programs if you don't have one. And there's also a nice magazine article there from our friends at the Naked City about Wichita Shakespeare Company. I would like to also announce next season, Wichita Shakespeare Company will be putting on Taming of the Shrew, and that will be our June show. And that will be directed by Vonda Schuster. And then 1 year from now, we'll be putting on Troilus and Cressida, and that will be directed by Dan Schuster. Once again, thank you for coming. Visit our donation table, and I hope you enjoy Macbeth. Thank you.
When shall we three meet again, in thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malkin.
Paddock calls.
No.
Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
What bloody man is that? He can report it seized by his blight of the revolt, the new estate.
This is the sergeant who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Tell the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
The merciless Macdonald, worthy to be a rebel, faltered that the multiplying villainies of nature did swarm upon him. It is from the western isles of kerns and gallowglasses supplied. But all's too weak for brave Macbeth. Well he deserves that name. Sustaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution, and like valor's minion carved out his passage, till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chaps, and fixed his head upon our battlement.
Oh, valiant, cousin-worthy gentlemen!
Mark, King of Scotland, Mark. No sooner had justice with valor armed compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, than the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed this not our captains Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, as Sparrow's eagle, or the hare the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks, and so they doubly redoubled stroke upon the bow. I am faint, my gashes cry for help.
Your words become you as your wounds. They smack of honor both. Go, get him surgeons. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
God save the king.
Where comest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Bellona's bridegroom, lapped in fruit, confronted him with self-comparison. Point against point rebellious, arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit. And to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Ah, great happiness!
That now we know Norway's king craves composition, nor would we deign him burial of his men till he dispersed at St. Colm's Inch $10,000 to our general use.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title greet Macbeth.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where now?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched, and munched, and munched. Give me, quoth I, a right thee which the rump-fed Runyon cries. Her husband's to Aleppo gone, master of the tiger. But in a sieve I'll thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do.
I'll give thee a wind.
Thou art kind.
And I another.
I myself have all the other, and the very ports they blow, all the quarters that they know where the shipman's hard. I will drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man forbid. Weary 7 nights, 9 times 9 shall he dwindle, pig and pine. Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest tossed. Look at what I have.
Show me. Show me.
Here I have a pilot's thumb. Wrecked as homeward he did come.
A drum. A drum. Macbeth doth come.
The
We're sisters, hand in hand, hostess of the sea and land. Thus to go about, thrice to thine and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9. Peace! The charms wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen. How far is it called the forest? What are these, so wild in their attire that look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it? Live you, or are you what that man may question? Speak if you can, what are you?
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail, Macbeth. Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical? That indeed which outwardly ye show. My noble partner, you greet with present grace and a great prediction of noble having and of royal hope, that he seems rapt withal. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail,
Hail,
hail, lesser than Macbeth and greater.
so happy.
Much happier. Thou shalt be king, though thou be none. So all hail, Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers, tell me more. By Sinel's death, I know that I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be of Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon the blasted heath you do stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you!
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air. What seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. And would they had stayed?
Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings,
You shall be king,
and Thane of Cawdor too, when it not so.
to the self-same tune and words. Who's that?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend which should be thine or his. Silenced with that, in viewing o'er the rest of the self-same day, he finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks, nothing afeard of what thyself didst make strange images of death. As thick as hail came post with post, and every one did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defense, and pour them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master thanks.
And for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition, hail most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was that thing lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose? Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebels with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's rank, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
The Thane of Cawdor. and Glamis, the greatest, is behind. I thank you for your pains. But do you not hope your children shall be kings when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes to lead us to our harm. The instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betrays in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word I pray you.
Two truths are told. A happy prologue to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. Cannot be ill. Cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why hath it given me suggestion that I yield to, that whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? My thoughts, whose horrid image and murder, as yet unthink, shake so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partner is wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir.
New horrors come upon him. Like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Let us toward the king, and at more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our hearts free to each other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back. But I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became it like the leaving.
There's no ought to find the mind's construction in the face. He is a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. My worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now is heavy on me. Thou art so before that swiftest wing of recompense that was slow to overtake thee. Only I have left to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and loyalty we owe in doing it pays itself. Your highness's part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and shall labor to see thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, thou art no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There if I crow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are near, know we shall establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom hereafter we name Prince of Cumberland, which honor must not unaccompanied invest in him only. But nobleness like star shall shine on all deserts, from hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor?
The Prince of Cumberland. That's a step on which I must fall down, or else I'll leap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let that light see my black and deep desires.
True worthy Banquo, he is so full, so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is like a banquet to me. Let's after that.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time with, Hail King that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised, yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness illness should attend it. Hie thee hither, that I might pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Was not thy master with him, who wert so would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true, our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who, almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse, who croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits who tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood and stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor make peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherein your sightless substances you wait upon nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of dark to cry, hold, hold. Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, and greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel the future now in the instant.
But dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow, see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. They'll welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put tonight's great business into my dispatch, which shall give, for all our days and nights to come, solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We shall speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle has a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself upon one's senses. Ah, see, our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometimes is our sorrow. Yet still we thank his love.
All our service in every point twice done and then done double. We're poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at his heels and had a purpose to be his purveyor. But he rides well. His great love, sharp as a spur, hath hopped him to his home before us. My honored hostess, we are your guests tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs in compt to make an audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Lead us to our host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces toward him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done when 'tis done, 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, but this blow might be the be-all and end-all here. But here, on the bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here. That we but teach bloody instruction, which being taught returns to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients to his own chalice, even to our lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his subject and his kinsman, strong both against the deed. Then as his host, who should, against the murderer, shut the door, not wield the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtue will plead like angels trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. Pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, Or heaven's cherubim horsed against the sightless couriers of the air shall blow the horror deed in every eye, and tears shall drown the wind. I have no spurs to prick the sides of my intent, only bulking ambition, which overleaps itself and falls on the other. How now, what news?
He is almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
Know you not, he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which should be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so pale and green on what it did so freely? From this time such I count thy love. Art thou a fear to live the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting, I dare not, wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the attic?
Prithee, peace, I dare do all that becomes a man, who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man, and to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you have made them both, they have made themselves, and that the fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, pluck my nipple from its boneless gums and dash its brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this.
If we fail.
We fail! But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto rather his day's hard journey shall soundly invite him, his two chamberlains with wine and wassail will I convince, so that memory, the water of the brain, shall be as a fume, and the receipt of wisdom a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men, children only, for I and daunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked the sleepy two with blood of his chamber, and use their daggers that they have done it?
Who could receive it other, as we shall make our grease and clamor roar upon his death?
I am settled, and send each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, mock not the time with fair show, false face must hide what the false heart doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock yet.
She goes down at 12.
I take it later, sir.
Hold. Take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. The candles are all out. Take thee that too. Heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Give me my sword. Who's there?
A friend.
What, sir? Not yet at rest. The king's abed. He hath been in unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to the fact which else should free of wrath.
All's well. I dreamt last night of the three wed sisters. To you they hath showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet when we could entreat an hour to serve, we would spend some words upon that business, if you would find the time.
At your kindest leisure.
You shall cleave to my consent when 'tis it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and allegiance clear. I shall be consul.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir, the like to you.
Go, bid thy mistress, when my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. This dagger which I see before me, handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not, yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, false creation proceeding from the heat of oppressed brain? I see thee yet in a form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshalst me the way that I was going, such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. Yet I see thee still, and on thy blade in dungeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It's a bloody business thus informs to mine eyes. Now over one half the world nature seems dead, and the wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Withered, murdered, alarmed by his sentinel, the wolf who howls his watch thus with his stealthy pace, and with Tarquin's ravishing strides moves towards his design like a ghost. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts, and take the present whore from the time which now suits with it. Whilst I threat, he lives. Words to the heat of deeds, too cold breath gives. I go. It is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell. It summons thee to heaven or to hell.
What hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark, peace! 'Twas the Albert shrieked. The fatal bellman which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them whether they live or die.
Who's there? What hope?
Oh, alack! I'm afraid they have awaked and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark, I left the daggers ready. He could not miss him. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done. My husband.
I had done the deed. Does thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
Now.
As I departed.
I?
Hark, who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain!
This is a sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There's one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder, that they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and address them again to sleep.
There were two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen, the other when they saw me with these hangman's hands. Listening their fears, I could not say amen.
Consider it not so deeply.
Well, wherefore could I not say amen? I had much need of a blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth doth murder, sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that knits the raffled sleeve of care. End of each day's life. Sore labor's bad, the balm of a hurt mind. Great nature's second course, chief nourisher of life's peace.
What do you mean?
Still the voice cried, sleep no more to all the house. Promiseth murder, sleep. River Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of such things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy evidence from your hand. Why did you bring the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think of what I done. To look on it again, I dare not.
Firm of purpose. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood who fears the painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me that every noise appalls me? Oh, what hands are here? Oh, they pluck out mine eyes. Oh, great Neptune's oceans wash this blood clean from my hands. No. My hands were rather the multitudinous seas in Conradine, making the green ones red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. The knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water washes us off this deed. How easy is it then your constancy hath left you unattended? More knocking. Put on our nightgowns. Let's occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
You know what I've done, but best not know myself. But wait, Duncan, with thy knocking, I would some goods.
Oh, here's a knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hell Gate, he would grow old turning the key. Knock, 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 who's there? In the name of Beelzebub. Oh, faith! Here's a farmer that hanged himself in the expectation of plenty. Come in time, have napkins now about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Knock, 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 who's there in the other devil's name? Faith! Here's an equivocator who could swear in both scales against the other, who committed treason enough for God's sake, but could not equivocate to heaven. Oh, come in, equivocator. Knock, 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 who's there? Oh, faith. Here's an English tailor, come hither for stealing out of a French hose. Oh, come in, tailor. Here may you roast your goose. Knock, knock, knock. What are you? Oh, but this place is too cold for hell. Oh. I'll devil porter it no further. But I had thought to let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon, I pray you, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, that you did go to bed? Did you do lie so late?
Well, faith, sir, we were carousing until the second cock. And drink, sir, is a great provoker of 3 things.
What 3 things does drink especially provoke?
Well, marry, sir, nose painting, sleep, and urine. Woo. Lecturing, sir, it provokes, and unprovokes. Well, it provokes the desire, but it takes away the performance. Therefore, drink may be said to be an equivocator to lechery. Oh, it makes him, and it mars him. It sets him on, and it takes him off. It encourages him and disheartens him. Oh, it makes him stand too high and not stand too. In conclusion, puts him in his sleep and giving him the lie leaves him.
I believe the drink gave me the lie last night.
Oh, that it did, sir. It had the very throat of me. But I requited him for his lie, being too strong for him. And even though he took up my legs sometimes, I cast him off.
Is thy master stirring?
Our knocking has awakened him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet. He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in physics pain. Here's the door. I'll make so bold to call for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly where we lay. Our chimneys were blown down, as they say, lamentings heard I the air. Strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible of dire combustion and confused events, new hatched in woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverish, did shake.
Was a rough night.
My young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Oh, horror! 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 Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What's the matter?
Approach the chamber and destroy thy sight with the new Gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See and speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Malcolm and Banquo, Battlebane, awake! Shake off this downy sleep! Death's counterfeit and look on death itself! Up and see the great doom's image! Malcolm and Banquo, as from your graves rise up and walk like sprites to countenance this horror! Ring the bell!
What's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the sleepers of the house? Speak, speak!
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo, Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
What? In our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee, contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For now there was nothing serious in mortality, all is but toys. Grace and renown is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lease left is all to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are, I do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
By whom?
By those of his chambers, it seemed to done it. Their hands and faces were impatched with blood, and so were their daggers, which unwiped were found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life should be trusted with them.
Well, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did murder them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who could remain wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. For the expedition my violent love outrun the pause of reason. For here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his gold blood. His gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature for wasteful's ruin entrance. There stood the murderers, steeped in the color of their trade, their daggers unmannily breached with gore. Who could refrain? Who had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make loves known?
Oh, help me, Hence! Oh!
Look to the lady!
Why do we hold our tongues that most may claim this argument for ours?
What should be spoken here, where our fate, hidden in augural, may rush and seize us? Let's away, our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady. When we have her naked frailties hid, that suffer an exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work and know it further. Fears and scruples shake us. If the great hand of God I stand, and this against the end of false pretense, I find a treasonous malice.
So do I. Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together.
What will you do? Let's not consort with them. Show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland, Our separated fortunes will keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers and men smile. The nearer blood, the nearer bloody.
Murderous shaft and shot have not yet been lighted. Our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse. And let us not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft which steals itself. There's no mercy left.
70 I can remember well, within which volume of time I have seen hours dreadful and things strange, but this sore night hath trifled former knowings.
My good father, thou seest the heavens as troubled with man's act threaten this bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the traveling lamp.
Oh, 'tis unnatural, like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, a falcon, towering in her pride of place, was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed.
And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift, the minions of the race, turned wild in nature, flung out contending against obedience as they would make war with mankind.
'Tis said they eat each other.
They did so to the amazement of mine eyes that looked upon it. Now here comes the good Macduff. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is it known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Bless the day, what good could they pretend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, have stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still, thriftless ambition that wilt raven up thine own life's means. 'Tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He is already named and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Colmkill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors, and the guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin, I'll to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things done well there. Adieu, lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, father.
God's benisons go with you, and with all who would make good of bad and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now. King Cawdor Glamis, all as the weird women promised, and I fear thou playest most foully for't. Yet it was said, it should not stand in thy posterity, but that myself should be made the root and father of many kings. There come truth for them, as upon thee, Macbeth, their speeches shine. Why, by the verities on thee made good, can they not be my oracles, and set me up in hope? But hush, no more.
Here is our chief guest.
If he had been forgotten, it had been as a gap in our great feast, and all thing unbecoming.
Tonight I hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to which my duties are with a most indissoluble tie forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon.
Aye, my good lord.
We should have else desired your good advice in this day's council, which hath both been grave and prosperous. But of that tomorrow. Is it far your ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time, go not, twixt this and supper, go not my horse the better. I must become a borrower of the night for a dark hour or twain.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling the hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow. Adieu, till you return at night. Goes Fleance with you?
Aye, my good lord, our time does call upon.
We wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. Let each man be master of his time till 7 at night. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend you those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord. Without the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing. To be safely thus. Our fears and Banquo stick deep. Yet the royalty of nature in him which would be feared, 'tis much he dares. And he chid the sisters when they placed the name of king upon me, bade them speak to him, and prophet-like, hailed him to a father to a line of kings. They placed a fruitless crown upon my head, and put a barren scepter in my grip, that's to be wrenched from an lineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. Hence it is, for Banquo have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan have I murdered, put rankers in the vessels of my peace only for them. My jewel given to the common enemy of man to make Banquo's issue kings, to make them kings. Rather than so, fate come into the list and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Now go to the door and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please your highness.
Well then, now have you considered of my speeches? Know you that it was he in times past hath held you so under fortune who you thought was our innocent self? This I made good in our last meeting. Thus, to a notion crazed and half a soul, say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
So I did, and went further, which is now the point of our second conference. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you would let this go? Are you so gospel that you would pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue ye go for men. Now, if you can find a station in the file, not in the worst rank of manhood, say it. And I'll place that business in your bosom, whose execution takes your enemy off.
I am one, my liege, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world have so incensed that I am reckless what I do to spite the world.
And I another, so weary with disasters, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life at any chance to mend it or be rid on it.
Both you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So was he mine, and at such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrust against my nearest life. And though I could, with such barefaced power, sweep him from my sights and bid my will about it, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down. Thence it is, to your assistance, I do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
We shall, my lord, perform what you command us.
So are
Your
mine.
spirit shine through you. Within this hour at most, I'll advise you where to plant yourself. Acquaint you with the perfect spy of the time, the moment for it. What must be done something from the palace. And with this, I've always thought it required a clearness, to leave no rubs, no botches in the work. His son Fleance, who keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourself apart, I'll call you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
I'll call you straight. Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo thy soul's flight. To find heaven must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I would attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Not sad. All spent where our desires got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which indeed should have died with them they think on. Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of a former tooth. For the frame of things disjoint, ere both worlds suffer, and we eat in fear, sleep in the affliction of these wicked dreams abuse us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we to gain peace have sent to peace, than on the torture of these minds to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy can touch him further.
Come on. Gentle, my lord, slake all your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial with your guests tonight.
So shall I love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance fall to Banquo. Present him eminence both with eye and tongue. Unsafe the while, our flattering honors in the stream, our faces must be visaged to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Full of scorpions my mind is, dear wife, for thou knowest Banquo and his Fleance lives.
Yes, but in them nature's copies not etern.
There's some comfort yet. They are assailable. Then can thou be jocund. And the baddest flown is cloistered flight, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dear Chuck, till thou can applaud the deed. Come, steely night, and scoff up the tender eye of the pitiful day, and with thy invisible hands tear to pieces that great bond that keeps me pale. Light thickens and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good day's deeds do droop and drowse, while night's dark agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelst at my words, but hold thee still. This bad begun makes itself strong by ill. Pray thee come with me.
But who did bid thee join with us?
Macbeth. He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do to the direction just.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the laden traveler apace to gain the timely inn, and near approaches the subject of our walk.
Hark, I hear horses!
Give us a light there! Ho!
Then 'tis he! The rest that are within the note of expectation already are in the court.
His horses go about.
Almost a mile. But he does usually, so all men do from hence to the palace gate make it their walk.
A light! A light!
'Tis he!
Stand to it.
There will be rain tonight.
Let it come down!
Thief! The treachery! Lively on fly!
Who did strike out the light?
Was not the way?
There's but one down. The sun has fled.
We have lost best half of our affair.
Well, let's away and say how much is done.
You know your own degrees. Sit down. At first and last, a hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty.
Ourselves will mingle with society and play the humble host. But both sides are even. I'll sit in the midst. Be large in mirth. Anon we'll drink and measure the table round. There's blood on thy face.
'Tis banquos then.
Better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
And thou art the best of the cutthroats. If he were good that did the like for Cleons, if thou didst, thou art the nonpareil.
Most royal sir, Cleons escaped.
Comes my fit again. Had else been perfect. Whole as the marble, founded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air. Now I'm cabined, gripped, confined, bound to saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo's safe.
Aye, my good lord, safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenchant gashes on his head, the least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the great serpent lies. The one that hath fled hath nature, and him in time venom will breed no teeth for the present. Get thee gone. Ourselves will hear again tomorrow.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer.
Sweet remembrancer. Come. Good digestion, wait on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness, and sit.
Here we have our country's honored roof. Were there not graced person of our Banquo present, we would rather challenge him for unkindness and pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please, your highness, to grace us with your royal company.
The table is full.
Here's a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What's it that moves, your highness?
Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gore hillocks at me!
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord as often doesn't have been since his youth. Pray you keep seat. The fit is momentary, and upon a thought he will be well again. If but you regard him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed! Regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Proper stuff, this is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. When all's done, you look but on a stool.
behold, see, there, what? What care I if thou canst not speak to?
What? Quite unmanned and falling.
If I stand here, I saw him.
Aye, for shame.
The time had been when the brains were out, the man would die, and there's an end. But now they rise again with 20 mortal murders on their crowns and push us from our stools. More strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
You do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. For I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love and health to all, and then I'll sit down. Give us some wine, fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table. And to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. To all and him, we thirst to all and all.
Our duties and the plague.
Avaunt! Get thee from my sight! Let the earth hide thee! There's no warmth in thy blood, thy bones are marrowless, there's no speculation in the eyes without a swear with.
Think of this, good peers, is but a thing of custom, 'tis no other. Only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dare I dare? Come in any other form than that, and my firm nerve shall never tremble. Hence, horrible shadow, unreal mockery, hence! So, being gone, I am man again. Prithee, sit you still.
This place the mirth broke the good meeting with most admired disorder.
And such things be that overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder. You make me strange even to the disposition I owe. When I can think now you may behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks when mine are blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you speak not. He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night. In better health attend his majesty.
Kind good night to all.
It will have blood. They say blood will have blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning. Which is which?
What thinkest thou? Macduff denies his person even at our great bidding.
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it, by the way. But I will send. There's not a person but in his house that keep a servant feet. And betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak. For now I am meant to know by the worst means the worst. All good causes shall give way. For I am in blood stepped so far that were I to wait no more, going over where tedious is returning. Strange things I have in head that will to hand, now they must be acted, so they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, let us sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are but young indeed.
How now, Heppet? You look angrily. Have I not reason? Beldams that you are. Saucy and overbold. How did you dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth? And the bears of death? And I, the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part, or show the glory of our art. And which is worse, all you have done hath been but for a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, whether, as others do, loves for his own end,
me in the morning. Thither he will come to know his destiny. Your vessels and your spells provide, your charms and everything beside. I am for the air. This night I'll spend until a dismal and a fatal end. Great business shall be wrought ere noon. Upon the corner of the moon there hangs a vaporous drop profound. I'll catch it ere it comes around, and that distilled by magic sprites shall raise such artificial sprites as by the strength of their illusion shall draw him on to his conclusion. He will spurn fate, scorn death, and bear his hopes of wisdom, grace, and fear. And we all know security is mortal's chiefest enemy. I am cold, see? My little spirit sits in a foggy cloud and stays for me.
Come, let's make haste. She'll soon be back again.
My former speeches have but hit your thoughts, which can't interpret further. Only I say things have been strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth, married, he was dead. Or the right valiant Banquo walked too late, from whom you may say Fleon's killed, for Fleon's fled. Ha! Men must not walk too late? Who cannot want the thought how monstrous it was for Malcolm and for Donalbain to kill their gracious father? Damned fact! Oh, how it did grieve Macbeth! But did he not straight in pious rage the two delinquents tear that were the slaves of drink and the thralls of sleep? Was not that nobly done? Aye, and wisely too, which would have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So I say he has borne all things well. And I do think he had Duncan's sons under his key. As in please heaven he shall not. They should find what were to kill a father, so should Fleon's. But peace, for from broad words and cause he failed at the tyrant's feast. I hear Macduff lives in disgrace. Sir, can you tell me where he bestows himself?
The son of Duncan, from whom this tyrant holds the due of birth, lives in the English court. Thither Macduff is gone to pray the holy king upon his aid, to wake Northumberland and the warlike Seward, that with the help of these and him above to ratify the work, we may again return to our tables meat, sleep to our nights, free from our banquets and feasts, bloody knives, do faithful homage and receive free honors, all which we pine for now. And this report hath so exasperate the king, that he makes preparation for some attempt of war.
Sent he to Macduff?
He did, and with an absolute, sir, not I. This cloudy messenger turns me his back and hums as who would say, you'll rue the time that clogs me with this answer.
Then that might as well advise him to a caution, to hold what distance his wisdom can provide. Some holy angel fly to the court of England and unfold his message ere he come, that a swift blessing may return to this, our suffering country, under a hand accursed.
I'll send my prayers with him.
Thrice the brinded cat hath you.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whines.
Harpier cries, 'Tis time! 'Tis time!
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Toad, that under cold stone days and nights has 31, sweltered venom sleeping bot. Go thou first in the charm.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg and owlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witches, mummy, maw, and gulf. Of the raven, salt sea shark, root of hemlock, dig,
tarn is firm and good.
Ah, well done. I commend your pains, and everyone shall share in the gain.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
Now, you secret black and midnight hags, what is it you do?
A deed without a name.
Well, I conjure you by that which power you profess. However you come to know it, answer the questions I ask.
Speak, demand.
We'll answer. Say if you'd rather hear it from our mouths or from our masters.
Carlo, let me see him.
Pour in sow's blood that hath eaten her 9 pharaoh. Grease that's sweating from a murderer's gibbet. Pour into the flame.
Come, high or low, thyself in office deathly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth! 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 Beware Macduff! Beware the Thane of Fife! Dismiss me! Enough!
Whatever thou art, for thy good caution, thanks. It is hot my fears are right. But one word more.
He shall not be commanded. Here is another, more powerful than the first.
Macbeth! Macbeth!
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody bold and resolute. Laugh to scorn the powers of man. For none of woman born will ever harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? Yet to make assurance double sure, I'll take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live. That I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this? It rises like the issue of a king, and on its baby brow wears the top and round of sovereignty.
Listen, but speak not to it. Beliant mental proud, and care not who chase, who frets or where conspirers are, for none of woman born will ever harm Macbeth. Macbeth will never vanquish me till great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That can never be. For who can impress the forest? Bid thy tree and mine his earthbound root. But my heart throbs to know one thing more. Tell me, if your aunt can tell so much, will Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and eternal curse fall on you. Let me know.
Show! Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Like ground doth sear mine eyeballs. And thy hair, thy other gold-bound brow is like the first, and the third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? And the fourth doth appear, those starred eyes. But there's a line stretched out to the crack of doom, and another doth appear, and the seventh. And I'll see no more. And an eighth doth appear that shows me many more. A horrid sight. Now I know it is true. For there's Banquo, smiling and appointing to them for his. What? Is this so? Where are they gone? Why, this day stands I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there! What is your grace's will? Saw you not the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Oh, infected be the error on they ride, and damn those that trust them. Heard the galloping of the horse. Who was it came by?
'Tis 203, my lord, to bring you word. Macduff has
fled to England. Fled to England. Aye, my lord. Time now anticipates my dread exploits. For the purpose should never overcome it unless it deed go with it. From this moment on, the firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. To crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. I'll surprise the castle of Macduff, seize on Fife, put to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all those that trace him in his line. No more boasting like a fool. I'll do it before the purpose cool. No more sights! Where are these gentlemen? Bring me where they are!
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For even the poor wren, the most diminutive of birds, will fight her young ones in the nest against the owl. All is the fear and nothing is the love. As little as the wisdom when the flight so outruns the reason.
My dearest cousin, I pray you school yourself. But for your husband. He is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not speak much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves, when we hold rumor from what we fear, yet know not what we fear. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things of the worst will cease, or else climb upwards to what they were before. My pretty cousin, blessing upon you.
Fathered he is, yet he's fatherless.
And so much a fool should I stay longer. It would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sirrah, your father is dead. What will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What with worms and flies?
What I get, I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird, thou'st never fear the net nor lime, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, Mother? Poor birds they are not set for. My father is not dead, for all you are saying.
Yes, he is. How wilt thou do without a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you shall buy 'em and sell again.
Thou speakest with all thy wit, yet in faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
One that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor and must be hanged.
Must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the liars and swearers are fools, for there are liars and swearers enough to beat the honest men and think of them.
Now God help thee, poor monkey. How wilt thou do for a father?
If my father were dead, you would weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkest.
Bless you, fair dame. I am not to you known, though in your state of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. Be not found here, hence with your little ones. To fright you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you, fell cruelty, which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you. I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I am remembered I am in this earthly world where to do harm is often laudable. To do good sometimes accounted dangerous folly. Why then do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm? What are these faces?
Where's your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayest find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, thou shattered villain!
What, you egg? Young try of treachery.
He has killed me, Mother! Run away, I pray you!
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall and birthdom.
This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongue, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, but something you may deserve of him through me. and wisdom to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry god.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge. But I shall crave your pardon. That which you are, my thoughts cannot transpose.
I have lost my hopes.
Perchance even there where I did find my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child? Those precious motives, those strong knots of love without leave taking. I pray you, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed! Bleed, poor country! Great tyranny, lay thou thy base ashore, for goodness dare not check thee. Wear thou thy wrongs, the title is afeard. Fare thee well, Lord, I would not be the villain that thou thinkest, for the whole space within the tyrant's grasp, or the rich east to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as an absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right. And here, from England, have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices and more wicked ways than ever by him that shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of vice, so grafted that were they opened, Black Macbeth would seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him as a lamb when being compared with my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, deceitful, sudden, malicious, smacking of every sin that hath a name. But there's no bottom, none in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons and your maids could not fill up the cistern of my lust and my desire.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the untimely emptying of the happy throne and fall of many kings. But fear not to take to you what is yours. We have willing dames enough. There cannot be that vulture in you to devour so many as will to greatness dedicate themselves, finding it so inclined.
With this there grows in my most ill-composed affection a staunchless avarice that, were I king, I should cut off the nobles of their lands, desire his jewels in this other's house, and my more having would be as a sauce to make me hunger more. That I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth?
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer seeming lust. But fear not. Scotland hath foisons enough to fill up your will of your mere own. All these are portable with other graces weighed.
But I have none. The king becoming graces, I have no relish of these, but abound in the division of each several kind, acting in many ways. Had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland!
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live! O nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant, bloody scepter, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again? Since that the truest issue of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accursed and blasphemes his breed. Thy royal father was a most sainted king. The queen that bore thee, oftener upon her knees than upon her feet, died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils thou repeatest upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast, my hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth by many of these trains had sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from overcredulous haste. God above deal between me and thee. For even now I put myself to thy direction. Unspeak mine own detractions. Here abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself for strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to woman, never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own, at no time broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speaking was this against myself. What I am is thine and my poor country's to command. Now we'll together, and the chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome tidings at once, 'tis hard to reconcile.
Well, more anon.
See, who comes here?
Good God, betimes remove the means that make us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland where it did?
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother but our grave, where sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air made not marked, where the dead man's knell is there scarce asked for whom.
O relation, too nice, and yet too true.
What's the newest?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker, each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered at their peace?
No, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
How goest?
When I came hither to transport the tidings, of which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy fellows that were out. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good sword and 10,000 men. An older and better soldier, none that Christendom gives out.
And I could answer this cumber with the like, but I have words that would be howled out in the desert air where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause, or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard. Your castle is surprised, your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the matter were on the quarry of these murdered deer to add the death of you.
My children too.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too.
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All? Did you say all? Oh, hellkite! All? What? All my pretty chickens and their dam in one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man.
Oh, I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot help but remember those things that were so precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff! They were slain for thee, not that I am. Not for their own demerits, but for mine fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your soul. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes, and the braggart with my heart. Oh, gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him, and if he scape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watched with you and can perceive no truth in your report. When is it she last walked?
since His Majesty went out into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and return to bed. All this while in a most fast sleep.
Oh, a great perturbation in nature to receive at once the benefit of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, what at any time other than her walking and other actual performances have you heard her say?
Well, that, sir, which I will not repeat after her.
Well, you may to me, and 'tis much meet that you should.
Well, nor to you, nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Oh, here she comes. Oh, this is her very guise, and upon my word, fast asleep. Oh, observe her. Stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. It is by her continually. 'Tis her command.
Well, you see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but the sense is shut.
Hark, she speaks.
Yet here's the spot. Out, damn spot, out, I say! 1, 2. I think 'tis time to do it. Ah! Hell is murky! Fie, my lord, fie! A soldier and a feared. What need we fear, who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet, who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? Oh, what? Will these hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting.
Go to, go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not. Of that I am sure. Oh, heaven knows what she has known.
Oh, here's a smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia could not sweeten this dear hand.
Oh, what a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Oh, pray God it be so, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice, but I have known those which have walked in their sleep who died holily in their beds.
Put on your nightgown. Wash your hands. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on his grave.
Even so.
To bed. To bed. There's a knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Oh, foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles, and infested minds will to their deaf pillows discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than a physician. Oh, God help us all. Watch after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance, but keep eyes on her. So, good night.
Oh, good night, good doctor.
Oh, my mind, she has made it, and amazed my sight. I think, but I dare not speak.
The English power is near, led by Malcolm, his uncle Seward, and the good Macduff.
Near Purdham Wood shall we well meet them.
What does the tyrant?
Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies.
Those he commands move only in command.
March we onward, to give obedience where 'tis truly owed.
Make we our march towards Burnham! Bring me no more reports, let fly all. I cannot taint with fear, to Burnham would remove the Dunsinane. What is the boy Malcolm? Is he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth, for no man of woman born shall ever have power of thee. Then fly, false thanes, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by and the heart I bear
should never sag with doubt nor shake with fear. The devil damn thee, black thou cream-faced loon. Where got thou that goose look?
There is 10,000
geese, villain!
soldiers, sir.
Prick thy face, never read thy fears. Now, lily-livered boy, what soldiers, Patch? Thou death to thy soul. Thy linen cheeks are counselors to fear. What soldiers, Wayface?
The English force, so please you.
Take thy face hence. Seaton! My heart is sick when I do behold. Seaton, I say! And this push will cheer me ever to seek me now. I have lived long enough. My way of life has fallen into the sea of the yellow leaf. And things that should accompany old age, as love, honor, obedience, troops, and friends, I must not look to have. But in their stead, curses of loud, with teeth, mouth, honor, and breath. Things that the faint heart would deny, but dare it not. Satan!
What is your gracious' pleasure?
What news more?
I come from one art which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Bring me my armor.
'Tis thy need again.
I'll put it on! Send out more horses, skirm the country round, hang those that talk of fear. Give me my armor! How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Is thou not minister to a mind disease? Pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow, raise out the written troubles of the brain, and with some sweet oblivious antidote, cleanse that stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff that weighs upon the heart.
Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw physic to the dog, all none of it. Come, put mine armor on. Seaton, send out Dr. the Thanes, fly from me. Quick, sir, dispatch. Pull it off, I say. What rhubarb, chyme, or purgative drug can scour these English heads? Here, sour them.
Aye, my good lord. Your royal preparations make us hear something.
Bring it after me. I will not fear death nor bane till Vernon Forest come to Dunsinane.
If I from Dunsinane were away and clear, profit again should hardly draw me here.
Cousins, I hope the days are near at hand that Chambers will be safe.
We doubt it nothing.
What wood is this before us?
The wood of Burnham. Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host and make discovery ere in report of us.
It shall be done.
We learn no other, but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane, and will endure our setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope. Both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him but constrained things whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censures attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have, and what we owe. Thoughts speculative, their unsure hopes relate, but certain issue strokes must arbitrate, towards which advance the war!
Victory! Hang our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still they come. Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here let them lie till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that would be ours, we would have met them deaf, albeit to beard, and beat them backward home. Wherefore was that cry?
Tis the cry of a woman, good lord.
I'd almost forgot the taste of fears. Had time it been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek. But I have supped with horrors. Direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts cannot once start me. What is that cry?
The queen, my lord, she's dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to the syllable of last recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools away to dusty death. Out. Out, brief candle. The life is but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard from no more. It was a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious, my lord, I should report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do so.
Well, say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave!
Let me endure your wrath if not be so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming. I say, a moving grove.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive, till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. Begin to pull in resolution and doubt the equivocation of the fiend that speaks like truth. Fear not, to Barnum Forest come to Dunsinane. And now a wood comes to Dunsinane. Arm! Arm and out! If this which ye avouches does appear, there's no flying hence nor tarrying here. Ring the alarm bell! Blow wind! Come rack, at least we'll die with harness on our back!
Now near enough. Throw down your leafy screens and show like those you are. You, worthy uncle, lead our first battle. Macduff and we shall take upon us what else remains to do, according to our order.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight? Let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Let our trumpets speak. Give them all breath, those clamorous harbingers of blood and death.
They tied me to a stake, I cannot fly, but bear-like must fight the course. What is he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear, or none.
That way the noise is. Tyrant, show thy face. And if thou beest slain with no sword of mine, my wife and children's ghosts shall haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns whose arms are hired to bear their staves. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my unbattered sword I sheathe again undeeded. Let me find him, Fortune, and more I beg not.
This way, my lord. The castle's gently rendered. The tyrant's people on both sides do fight. The noble thanes do bravely in the war. The day almost itself professes yours, and little is to do.
We have met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die upon mine own sword? Whilst I see lives, gashes do better upon them. Turn, hellhound, turn! Of all men else, I have avoided thee. But get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword, thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee out.
Thou losest thy labor, as he mayst thou the injured in air. Or let thy blade fall on more vulnerable crest. For know I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Despise thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped.
Cursed be that tongue that tells me this. I have cowed my better part of man. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee as our rarer monsters are, painted on a pole and underwrit, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground at young Malcolm's feet or be bathed by the rabble curse. The Burnham would come to Dunsinane, and now was opposed, being of no woman born. Yet I would try my last. Throw my body before my warlike shield, lay on Macduff, and dare to be him that first cries, hold enough.
I would the friends we miss were safe arrived.
Some must go off, and yet by these I see so great a day as this is cheaply bought. Here comes newer comfort.
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold where stands the usurper's cursed head. The time is free, and I see thee compassed about with thy kingdom's pearl. And my salutation is in their minds, and their voice I desire to cry aloud with me. Hail, King of Scotland! Hail! Hail! Hail!
My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor named. What's more to do, which would be newly planted with the time, is calling home our exiled friends abroad, who fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the ministers of this cruel butcher and his fiend-like queen. So, thanks to all at once, and to each one, whom now we invite to see us crowned at Scone.